What if the ancient Americas weren't only homes to earthen mounds and sacred temples, but to machines? Not machines in the modern digital sense. No electricity, no silicon chips, but mechanical beings, crafted by hand, powered by fire, wind, water, or even magnetism. Across native mythologies and colonial chronicles, we find tales of self-moving statues, whispering idols, artificial guards, talking boxes, and sky people who left behind mechanical constructs. What are we to make of this? Are these simply metaphors for the divine, misremembered puppets and traps, or the last fading echoes of a technological heritage now lost to time? In today's episode, we dive into the myths, artifacts, ruins, and riddles surrounding ancient American robots and mechanical myths. Stories that blur the boundary between man and machine, soul and circuit, ancient and futuristic. Let's begin in central Mesoamerica, home to the Mexica, Toltecs, and Maya. The Mexica, also known as the Aztecs, told stories of idols that could move, tremble, or speak. The most famous example is that of Huitzilopochtli, the war god who guided the Mexica on their long migration before founding Tenochtitlan. According to early Nahuatl accounts, Huitzilopochtli's idol was not merely carried in a box. It was alive. It moved. It shook. It gave direction. It was attended by 4 priests who claimed to receive commands through the idol. Some stories even claim the idol gave oracles, speaking from within its shrine. Was this divine inspiration, or a cleverly constructed oracle machine with tubes, soundboxes, or concealed speakers? In Maya culture, ceremonies often involved dynamic altars and animated props. Relief carvings from Chichen Itza and Uxmal depict ceremonial figures with elaborate mechanisms, gears, or ropes attached. These may have been used to simulate movement during rituals. Spanish priests who witnessed these spectacles often described them in fearful terms, suggesting the indigenous peoples had summoned spirits or demons into statues. But others noted that these effects may have been mechanical, activated by hidden pulleys, water pressure, or heat-induced expansion. The Temple of Kukulkan at Chichen Itza even produces a chirping echo, sounding like a bird, when someone claps near its stairs. Could ancient architects have deliberately designed interactive sound and motion into their sacred spaces? Let's move south to the Andean highlands, where Inca engineers displayed a mastery of architecture and stonework. But they also cultivated mystery. In Cusco's Temple of the Sun, the most sacred shrine of the Inca Empire, chroniclers recorded tales of golden statues that spoke to priests. This wasn't simple ventriloquism. Explorers and Spanish conquerors noted how sounds could carry unnaturally across certain chambers. Later, acoustic studies found that stone niches and curved walls in Cusco and Machu Picchu amplified sound across vast distances. Some niches even echoed a whisper from one side of the temple to the other. It's entirely possible that priests used these architectural effects to simulate talking idols. But could there have been more? In Sacsayhuaman, some carved stones have hollow interiors and unusual resonant properties. In nearby pre-Inca sites, carved tubes and chambers may have functioned as windpipes or resonance tunnels, primitive voice systems that could make statues hum, echo, or whisper. If we think of a robot as a self-contained system that simulates life, then these sound-producing statues might very well qualify. Some were placed along pilgrimage routes, guiding initiates through echoing mountain corridors. Whispers from the rock, a voice with no visible source, a technological mystery hidden in plain sight. Traveling northward, the Mississippian culture of North America left behind a legacy of mound cities, astronomical alignments, and intriguing oral histories. In the legends of the Natchez and Choctaw, we hear of guardians of the sacred grounds, stone beings with glowing eyes who rose up when trespassers approached. These tales are often dismissed as metaphor, but consider this. Some Mississippian temple mounds had mirror rooms made of polished mica that reflected light in dazzling patterns. At Cahokia, traces of reflective mineral layers have been found on ceremonial structures, possibly to magnify firelight or create glowing effects. Did these effects make statues appear to move or shimmer? Even more compelling are the jointed effigies, figurines with movable arms and heads. Found in burial sites across the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys, some of these figures may have been ritual puppets, but certain specimens suggest counterweights or string systems more sophisticated than simple dolls. Archaeologists speculate that these could have been used in complex public ceremonies, appearing to move independently from the shaman or priest. Were these proto-automatons built not to serve, but to impress? The burial mound cultures, like Adena and Hopewell, also buried strange, gear-shaped objects. Some of these artifacts remain unclassified. Could they have been symbolic devices for marking celestial cycles? Or were they functioning tools now lost to context? The Maya are synonymous with mathematics and cosmic timekeeping. Their calendars are still among the most accurate the world has ever known. But could they have taken it a step further, building machines to track celestial motion? Several murals in Palenque and Copan depict scenes with interlocking gears, rotating discs, and toothed wheels. While often interpreted as symbolic, some glyphs reference the idea of turning the heavens or the wheel of the world. One codex even shows what appears to be a multi-layered clock, with rotating spirals representing the solar, lunar, and Venusian calendars. No surviving artifact resembles this precisely, but some circular stones found in Guatemala and Belize are shaped with jagged edges, resembling cogwheels. Could the Maya have developed a mechanical calendar system, similar to the Antikythera mechanism found in Greece? It's purely speculative, but we do know they used rolling codices with scroll-like formats. The concept of interlocking cyclical systems was fundamental to Maya thought. Perhaps what's missing is the evidence made of wood or fiber, materials long since decayed. One intriguing legend speaks of a temple device that could reveal the face of the gods through movement. Could this have been a moving cosmogram, a sacred machine powered by hand or weight? In the Andes, the mysterious Huanca stones were objects of deep reverence. Said to represent ancestors or elemental spirits, some Huanca were associated with motion or even aggression. A pre-Inca tale from the Lake Titicaca region describes a gold-plated Huanca that shot fire and noise when Spanish soldiers attempted to desecrate a shrine. Modern analysis of some megaliths near Tiwanaku has revealed unusual magnetic properties, stone pillars that interfere with compass readings. Could ancient people have understood magnetic stone? There's also evidence of metallic inlays, including copper, gold, and silver strips embedded into figures. Some believe these stones once formed part of a ceremonial device, not just a marker, but a machine. In ancient China, India, and Greece, fire-powered automatons were known. Is it so far-fetched to think the Andes, so rich in metals and volcanoes, might have developed pyrotechnic rituals that mimicked machinery? Perhaps the Huanca didn't literally breathe fire, but concealed powders, reflective metals, or resonating chambers that made them appear to come alive in ritual. Shamans across the Americas were said to possess tools. Shamans across the Americas were said to possess tools of supernatural power. But sometimes, these tools behaved more like technology than sorcery. Among the Zuni, Hopi, and Puebloan peoples, we hear of singing stones and spirit boxes, objects that hummed or emitted sound when struck or opened. In the Amazon, the Kayapo tell of men who walked with the stone men, beings who never slept, never blinked, and always obeyed. Their function? Unknown. Their origin? From the stars. Some of these tales echo themes of artificial servants, eerily similar to global myths of mechanical men. In Colombia, small gold figurines, shaped like birds, bats, and insects, have been interpreted by some as aerodynamic models. Though likely ceremonial, their precision raises questions. Did ancient craftsmen experiment with gliding forms, wind movement, or mechanical toys? Some ancient American rattles and flutes were designed with internal chambers that shift pitch, sound like animals, or create pressure differentials. These are musical devices, but also complex mechanical systems. Could these be the distant cousins of musical automata? In the city of Tula, the Toltecs erected massive statues, now called the Atlantean figures, each standing over 15 feet tall, armed with what appear to be tools or weapons. These aren't just statues. Some believe they were once rigged with light reflectors, mirrors, or pyrotechnic devices. One colonial legend says the golden men atop the temple would glow at sunrise and burn at sunset. Were these aligned solar markers, or did they harness reflective plates to create a dramatic effect? Spanish priests accused the Toltecs of worshipping animated idols. Were these idols mechanical in any way? Some legends describe these guardians as never sleeping, never falling. A poetic image, yes, but also the description of something inhuman. Did they represent mythological robots, or were they metaphors for divine endurance, later misunderstood by outsiders? So are we saying the ancients built true robots? Not exactly. Not machines in the modern sense, but systems, interconnected, moving, performing, that mimicked life, invoked mystery, and demanded reverence. Whether through echoing temples, jointed statues, rotating stone wheels, or fire-driven rituals, ancient Americans created interactive environments. These systems may have functioned as machines of meaning, where the line between mechanical and magical, between real and symbolic, was fluid. Even if they weren't literal robots, these legends might be cultural memories of technologies we have yet to fully understand. The ancients of the Americas left behind more than ruins. They left behind stories, stories of guardians that moved, idols that spoke, statues that breathed, and machines that remembered. Maybe they were symbolic, maybe they were ceremonial, or maybe, just maybe, they were real. A different kind of technology, a sacred kind, one that blurred the line between human and divine, between mechanism and myth, between soul and circuit. The ancients may be silent now, but their machines, real or imagined, still whisper through the stones. We only have to listen.